Monsieur le Chancelier, Monsieur le Président du Conseil d'Administration, Mr. President and Vice Chancellor, Peter Schumann, honored platform guests, graduating students, parents et amis. My name is Rebecca Duclos, and I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Fine Arts. Rares sont les moments où le passage d'une étape de notre vie à une autre se déroule devant public. Eh bien, cette soirée en est un. Each of the students who walk across this stage this evening will be celebrating the completion of their academic programs, as well as the years they have spent with friends and colleagues in the Faculty of Fine Arts. Tandis que nos étudiantes et étudiants entament une nouvelle avenir, nous voulons qu'ils sachent combien nous sommes fiers d'eux et à quel point ils ont changé nos vies ici à Concordia. Nous avons tous beaucoup appris les uns des autres au fil des ans. It is a genuine privilege to share this celebratory evening with all of our students and with our honorary doctorate, Peter Schumann. His wisdom and extraordinary personal story are so deep and so profound that one could say he is almost a university in himself. His life has been shaped by the outer edges of both hardship and joy, from watching Russian tanks arrive in his native Silesia as his family fled the Second World War, to breathing in the smell of fresh hay as he first stepped onto the Vermont farm where he and his wife Elka have lived since the 1970s. Hardship and joy, from confronting phalanxes of riot police during anti-Vietnam protests, to greeting hundreds and hundreds of visitors with hearty slices of homemade sourdough rye bread at his epic performances. Hardship and joy, from feeling somewhat itinerant and ungrounded as a young man to running what is now the oldest and most beloved of independent theater companies in the world. Bread and puppet theater, as you'll hear from Peter soon, is not really theater. It's a way of living, of loving, of protesting, and performing the world. But most of all, it's a way of eating, of nourishing the body and the soul. One of my favorite images of Peter is at the entrance to the museum at the Vermont farm. He's in his long white apron, and he looks like a sage, a wise baker sage, with his arms folded and with a knowing twinkle in his eyes. The result of all his mixing and kneading and baking is a dense and chewy loaf that Bread and Puppet hands out at every one of their performances. This bread, like the theater, is not really bread. Instead, it's a kind of edible metaphor. As Peter says, it's a thing that reveals itself only when you work at it. So like the theater, like the bread, life is a thing that only reveals itself when we work at it. This is something that all of our graduating students have found out during their years here at Concordia. And we are so happy that you did keep working at it and that you worked at it with us in the Faculty of Fine Arts. And with that, to begin our evening formally, I would like to ask everyone to please rise and join Miss Colleen Bartley, mezzo-soprano, in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home Please be seated. Dear graduates, invités distingués, mesdames et messieurs, félicitations à chacun et chacune de nos nouveaux diplômés en cette magnifique journée de réjouissance. Graduation is a special day for your support networks, your families, loved ones, and friends, as well as the Concordia community and your fellow alumni who have collectively collaborated with you to make this day possible. I'm thrilled and honored to share this special milestone with you. La valeur d'une formation universitaire est incontestable et en obtenant votre diplôme, vous avez acquis un grand avantage dans notre société. Mais il y a autre chose. As Nelson Mandela famously said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. All of you are now equipped with this weapon. The question is, how will you use it? Certains et certaines d'entre vous seront des décideurs politiques et des leaders. D'autres seront des bâtisseurs ou des créateurs ou encore des scientifiques ou des chercheurs dont les découvertes transformeront le monde. Thomas Edison made 1,000 attempts at inventing the light bulb. When he finally succeeded, a reporter asked him what it felt like to fail 1,000 times. I didn't fail 1,000 times, he replied. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. As someone whose path to success has often required far more than 1,000 such steps, I encourage you to adopt a similar perspective as you embark upon this next chapter in your lives. Success is not determined by financial wealth or even the approval of our peers, but rather success is defined by the extent to which we are able to build our communities and help our fellow citizens. As the saying goes, no man is an island. I stand before you today on the shoulders of the many people whose guidance and support have helped me along the way. My point is, while it's true that our backgrounds and circumstances may have influenced who we are, it is equally true that each of us is responsible for who we become. You must continue to be open with outstretched arms and open hands to be willing to receive, but it is imperative that you also be willing to give. Whether financially or through the gift of your knowledge and time, I urge each of you to give back to the university and your community by investing in its future generations of graduates, just as previous generations have invested in you. Define your success by the degree to which you positively affect people in your lives. En tant que citoyenne avertie et engagée, vous, les diplômés, êtes bien placés pour exercer une influence extrêmement bénéfique sur notre monde en évolution constante. Your participation is critical. We are facing some of the most difficult challenges in human history, including climate change, environmental sustainability, gender, race, and social inequality, global economic and political instability, and the haves not making the playoffs. There is no shortage of opportunity to get involved. There is no methodology that cannot be improved, and no science, engineering, art, or business that cannot be enhanced by the energy, enthusiasm, and skills you all possess. Progress and change now lie squarely in your hands. You do not need magic to change the world. You all carry the power you need inside you to make it happen by questioning and imagining with your knowledge and your passion. To thrive rather than merely survive, you will have to be adaptable and resilient. You will have to be leaders of change, not followers. Do not be afraid to lead, not only by example, but also by exerting a positive influence on those around you. Remember that if you elevate others, you elevate yourself. I know that for many of you, this is a period that can be unsettling, given the uncertainty that may lie ahead. You are transitioning from an environment where everyone told you what you should do to an environment where you now have to decide for yourself what you want to do. And I believe me when I say your growth in the future will not be straight line. Without hyperbole, that decision, what you want to do, is among the most important you will ever make, which is why I urge you to look at the next few years as a continuation of your educational journey. Now is the time to truly discover your passions, to ask the right questions, to acquire the knowledge necessary to succeed. Don't just chase the quick paycheck. The money will come, know-how and solid experience trumps all. Maybe I should. Now I'm sure many of you are thinking that it's easy for someone in my position to stand up here and say, the money will come, and I'm all too aware of the financial pressures facing so many of you right now. But keep in mind that I and many of my classmates started with nothing. Our only external resources were the education we received here at Concordia and the network of mentors we accumulated. Wherever you go and whatever you do, the harvest of knowledge, experience, and values that you have learned and absorbed here at Concordia will be as relevant for society as you make it. Take advantage of the mentorship resources and community that exists at Concordia to aid you in your journey. Many of you may end up working in jobs that don't even exist yet. With the rapid pace of technology and the advent of artificial intelligence, increased automation, and robotics, the world is transforming before your eyes. Success in the future will require adaptability and willingness to change. Be bold, be imaginative, be prepared to fail, to continue to learn, and to succeed. Trust me, you can and will make a difference if you follow your passions. When you discover your passion, you will find your life to be an absolute joy. Je vous encourage à rêver, à explorer les choses qui n'existent pas encore, puisque c'est ainsi que vous allez changer le monde et bâtir l'avenir. I'm happy that we share a meaningful connection through Concordia, and I hope that today is the beginning of your new lifelong bond with our university and your community. I wish you all good luck, good health, and good fortune. Chapeau et merci. I would now like to ask Dr. Alan Shepard to address the convocation. Thank you.
Bonsoir, bienvenue à toutes et à tous. C'est un grand plaisir d'être parmi vous pour ce bel événement. I'd like to begin this evening's ceremonies by acknowledging that Concordia University and tonight's ceremony are located on unceded Indigenous lands. The Gainuk Gahaga Nation are recognized as the custodians of the lands and the waters on which we gather tonight. And Tiohtià:ke, also known as Montreal, is historically known as a gathering place for many First Nations. Today it's home to a diverse population of Indigenous and other peoples. And I'm just saying tonight that we respect the continued connections with the past, present, and future in our ongoing relationships with Indigenous peoples and other peoples in the Montreal community. Today's festivities are all about a celebration of community. To our graduates, all of us are proud of you. Your family and your friends, they're proud too. As hard as you worked to get here, your education doesn't end today or tonight, of course. Education is now and probably always has been a lifelong process, increasingly so in a knowledge society that seems to go faster and faster. As you continue your learning, the ideas you've engaged with here and the experiences you've had at your alma mater will help you make sense of a complex world. Concordia will always be part of who you are. As we celebrate your personal achievements together, it's important to remember that today is also about a bigger picture. Your own education, from kindergarten to an undergraduate degree or a graduate degree, is also an investment in the greater social fabric, making our community stronger. The world needs you. Partout où je rencontre des diplômés de Concordia, j'entends souvent les histoires de changements positifs que leurs expériences universitaires les ont apporté de grands succès dont ils bénéficient et la différence que même ils apportent dans le monde. In the midst of our celebrations, I also want to ensure that we remember those who are less fortunate than us, those who do not have the advantages of a university education, those who are affected by war, by poverty, by extremism. Education continues to be a powerful antidote to some of the world's problems. It builds understanding and it binds us together. It makes hope possible. Félicitations encore, bonne chance, et à la prochaine.
Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you Mr. Peter Schumann, independent theater company founder, director, visual artist, and social activist. When he moved to New York from his native Germany in the early 60s, Mr. Schumann and his wife Elke founded a company based in a unique theatrical language which combined his skills in painting and sculpture with drama, dance, and puppetry. Bread and Puppet Theater has been a highly prolific and original troupe set on empowering communities. Since its early days in the anti-Vietnam War protest movement, it has brought political and experimental theater to parades and venues small and large around the world, everywhere involving locals in its productions as performers and volunteers. And wherever they go, Schumann bakes the hearty sourdough bread, following the recipe from his Silesian home village. After every performance, the audiences are served bread. Bread that nourishes their body, theater, their mind, and soul. 55 ans après avoir fondé la troupe Bread and Puppet, M. Schumann est toujours actif. À sa ferme écologique située au Vermont, il construit des marionnettes et organise des spectacles locaux ainsi que des tournées. Il coordonne également des ateliers internationaux qui favorisent le militantisme communautaire sous diverses formes. Il s'est récemment rendu en Pologne et en Hongrie, en Palestine et en Haïti. His long-time educational outreach includes a robust summer apprenticeship program where, under Schumann's direction, Concordia students and others learn about puppetry and performance creation, as well as how to live sustainably with artistic integrity and social consciousness. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of Senate and the Board of Governors, it is my privilege and honor to present to you Mr. Peter Schumann so that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa.
So Mr. Schumann's mother always wanted him to be a doctor, and today he's a doctor. So I introduce to you Dr. Peter Schumann.
Students, future proletarians, or maybe puppeteers, or possibilitarians. I give you a little excerpt from the Bread and Puppet mission statement. Mission is what you're not necessarily capable of, but is the itch that enables you by urging you on. A note to aspiring puppeteers and other possibilitarians. Puppet shows are not necessarily good for the bread and butter requirements of life. But, or because puppet shows are meant strictly for the jolly or not so jolly dismantling of there's no alternative capitalism, which ruins the planet. Consequently, you got to make bread. Bread represents usefulness. It is the ultimate useful object. Our sourdough rye is the exact same bread that gave the peasants of the 16th century and the proletarians of Russia the strength for their uprising. And besides that, bread baking teaches two essential skills largely missing from postmodern life: fire making and chewing. Art is a direct tool that chisels away at humdrum ordinariness, and art is constantly in danger of losing its directness and not be itself. Puppeteers are possibilitarians who are out to corrupt the postmodern world immediately and resolutely by feeding it peasant bread and under and over life-sized puppet shows. That's enough.
Dr. Schumann, thank you for your wonderful comments and fabulous entertainment. Thank you. While our graduates prepare to cross the stage, I invite you to enjoy the music of the Encore Brass Quintet. Thank you.
I'm pleased to introduce to you the candidates for the Doctor of Doctorate in Philosophy from the following programs: Art Education, Film and Moving Image Studies, and Humanities Fine Arts. Alain Chouinard. Antoine Damien. Jordan Gowanlock. I'm pleased now to introduce to you the candidates for the Master of Magisteriate in Arts from the following programs: Art Education, Art History, Creative Arts Therapies, Art Therapy, Creative Arts Therapies, Drama Therapy, Creative Arts Therapies, Music Therapy, Film Studies, and the Individualized Program in Fine Arts. Judith Boilly-Valois. Jacob Le Gallet. Katrina Caruso. Alyssa Hauer. Chanmo Zhang. Zoe Rose Bowman. Megan Boyle. Rachel Cheney. Sophie Lessard Latendresse. Catherine Valkanis. Megan Kanaratnawi White. Michael DeYoung. Katia El Eter. Kaylee McConaughey. Amber Chantal Regier. Andrew McDonald. Samuel Minovich. Shalini Persad. Kimiko Suzuki. I'm pleased now to introduce to you the candidates for the Master of Magisteriate in Fine Arts from Studio Arts. Andradarcho Ashenik. Stephanie Decuto Costa. Boris Duménil-Poulain. Marianne Espa. Tiffany Page Godet. Maria Gornitis. JJ Levine. Madeline Mayo. Nagme Sharifi. Sonia Stefan.
I am pleased to introduce to you the candidates for the Bachelor of and Baccalaureate in Fine Arts from the following departments: Art Education, Art History, the Mel Hoppenheim School of Cinema, Contemporary Dance, and the Design and Computation Arts. Carolina Aguirre. Chloe Jade Boileau, with distinction. Sophia Boyajan, with distinction. Skarakotane Diom, with distinction. Rachel Fortier, with distinction. Daniela Fundaro. David Goranitis, with distinction, winner of the Art Education Prize awarded to the most outstanding graduating student in art education. Rana Dredini. Cynthia Meloche. Flavie Messier Saint-Jacques. Emerise Moncion. Sandrine Munoz, with distinction. Cynthia Pelletier. Marie-Hélène Robida, with distinction. Zahara Zapwan. Somang Song. Andrea Wilkin, with distinction. Stephanie Barclay, with distinction. Eloise Beaulieu. Jordan Beaulieu, with distinction. Hannah Simone Braithwaite. Sydney Carbray. André Natalia Corbin. Teresa Dory. Tamara El Ali. Elizabeth Faulkner. Cairo Ferguson. Laurence Fournier-Dupuis. Kimberly Glassman, with great distinction, and winner of the Art History Prize awarded to the most outstanding graduating student in art history. Emma Kite. Camille Lescarbot with distinction. Laura McNeil with distinction. Gianna Mardakis with distinction. Margaret Mills with distinction. Jamie Monahan with distinction. Andrea Murani. Michelle Ozell. Cassidy Powell. Raven Sperados with distinction. Eloise Thompson Tremblay with distinction. Olivia Vidmar with distinction. Laurence Villemer. Hao Yu Wong. Ilabella Wood with distinction. Bogdan Anifrani with distinction. Chanel Atlin. Francis Auger-Page with distinction.
John Rodrigue.
Jean Rodrigue. Stephen Baxter. Marie-Lou Bellefleur. Emmanuel Bramschi with distinction. Stephanie Bourbano with distinction. Gaston Campos Gomez with distinction. Alexander Comedy with distinction. Florence Corriveau. Jasmine Dara. Calden Datenpa. Bruce Fagan with distinction. Melissa Frederic.
Daniel Gabrielli.
Daniel Gabrielli. Jejumaila Garcia. Alexandre Girard with distinction. Alexandra Jubeli. Elisabeth Godin with distinction. Stefan Guani. Jody Henry. Cha Shon Shea. Julia Kang. Carolina Kossuth with distinction. Tien Yu Teresa Kuo. Simon La Rochelle with great distinction and winner of the Cinema Prize awarded to the most outstanding graduating student in cinema. Andréane Larouche. Tanya Lehi with distinction. Léa Lacombe with distinction. Lucy Macaulay with distinction. Audrey Martin. Mariana Monsalve. Daniela Monzon Leoto with distinction. Chelsea Moore. Claudia Morena with distinction. Tao Tran Nguyen with distinction. Rebecca Nicholson. Giovanna Olmos with distinction. Kiara Palmer. Marie Pape. Elizabeth Praddy. Virginie Pronovo with distinction. Katrina Rasico. Monica Rekas with distinction.
And Madeline Grace Rideout.
Madeline Grace Rideout with distinction. Francesca Sacerdoti with great distinction. Mario Saman. Raphael Sandler with distinction. Jamie Lynn Celine. Liang Shi. Lan Sinha. Antonio Sanessa with distinction. Margot Sumoy. Diana Tapia-Mungia with distinction. Stephen Turcotte with distinction. Cameron White with distinction. Bianca Zapatelli. Shizhou with distinction. Isabelle Gagnon with distinction. Guillaume Lollier-Pinard with distinction and winner of the Contemporary Dance Prize awarded to the most outstanding graduating student in contemporary dance. Rudy Nowalski-Vesley with distinction. Jocelyn Tino with distinction. Nian-Tzu Wang with distinction and winner of the Contemporary Dance Prize awarded to the most outstanding graduating student in contemporary dance. Pandora Alcorn. Sebastian Alvarez with distinction.
Mathilde Bazin.
Mathilde Bazin. Tia Besser-Paul. Priscilla Carvalho. Ben Compton with distinction. Angelos Coulon with great distinction and winner of the Design Prize awarded to the most outstanding graduating student in design. Rebecca Dadouche with distinction. Rebecca Dory. Elisabetta Forza. Sarah Faye Girard. Lisa Girolami. Corinne Joseph. Alexander Kozina with distinction. Jessica Leroux. Jameson Lightfoot with distinction. Rebecca Malagisi with distinction. Natalia Marison with distinction. Camille Poitevin. Marie Pontet with distinction. Milan Rochon Collins. Xavier Salvatore. Alessandra Scarpone. Rogine Shafi. Christopher Tan. Timothy Thomason with distinction and winner of the Computation Arts Prize awarded to the most outstanding graduating student in computation arts. Catherine Valenzuela. Mathieu Vanier with distinction. Nicholas Walker with distinction. Ruth Dewanti Weber Jagu with distinction. Rashid White.
I am pleased to introduce to you the candidates for the Bachelor of Baccalaureate in Fine Arts from the following departments: Music, Studio Arts and Theatre. Shant Abralian. Jordan Barilaro. Elias Bazinjana. Cass Bove with distinction. Talia Jane Bogoski with distinction. Marcus Braithwaite-Salmon with distinction. Matthew Conti. Etienne Côté-Roy with distinction. Koum de Betman. Dylan Goose with distinction. Matthew Hills with great distinction, winner of the Alfred Pinsky Medal, awarded to the highest ranking student graduating from the degree of Bachelor of Baccalaureate in Fine Arts. Mark Iacono. Nazar Klapaski. Angela Marino with distinction. Michael Martino. Joseph McGuigan with distinction. Ben Michel. Danny Musali with distinction. Noemi Nyux Chateau with distinction. Aidan O'Reilly. Elijah Salcedo. Anthony Salvo with distinction. Ariel Susi with great distinction. Robert Gary Stiglitz. Karin Topalyan with distinction. Marise Trotre Cormoye with great distinction. Shi Shuyan with distinction. Inan Zhao with distinction. Isabel Anderson with distinction. Mel Arsenault with distinction. Valerie Auclair with distinction. Nabil Azab. Alejandro Barbosa with great distinction, winner of the Gabor Selassie Prize in Studio Arts, awarded to an outstanding graduating student in Studio Arts. Ariane Bezossi. Kara Bowers with distinction. Yasmin Bobtena. Domenico Caucci. Teresa Chernakova with distinction. Emmanuel Chiese with distinction. Melissa Del Balso with distinction. Elissa Desormeaux. Gabrielle Desrosiers with great distinction, winner of the Irene and Whitome Prize in Studio Arts, awarded to an outstanding graduating student in Studio Arts. Leslie Dorman, with distinction. Alexandre Dunn, with distinction. Marie-Pierre Favreau-Chalifour, with distinction. Cariston Fawcett, with distinction. Roxane Fiore, with distinction. Chloe Fortier-Devin, with distinction.
Ryan Funk.
One moment. Ryan Funk? Yes, Ryan Funk.
Chris Fusaro.
Chris Fusaro, with distinction. Paul Gilbert, with great distinction, winner of the Betty Goodwin Prize in Studio Arts, awarded to an outstanding graduating student in Studio Arts. Maxime Alexandre Gosselin, with distinction. Émilie Goupil-Nantel, with distinction. Anna Grigorian, with distinction. Alexis Gros-Louis, with distinction. Amanda Greslak. Véronique Guimond de Payette, with distinction. Cynthia Hill, with distinction. Emily Hughes, with distinction. Helen Kavoris. Sky Kim. Claudia Konechny. Monica Kraska. Marlon Kroll, with distinction. Hannah Leah Ledwell, with distinction. Laura Chanel L'Espérance, with distinction. Paul Lefeodo, with distinction. Aliad Malkanhassian. Mikel Maniste. Jubilé Monsevani. Camille Marcoux, with distinction. Remy W. Martel with distinction. Megan McCluskey. Christopher Michaud with distinction. Marc-André Millet with distinction. Daisy Moskovich. Danielle Ostergo with great distinction. Adelina Padula. Grace Paraluk with distinction. Sunghui Park with distinction. Abby Rapaport with distinction. Lindsay Reeves. Cindy Rios. Zeke Rothfels with distinction. Eve Roy with distinction. Anna Sadowski. Ariana Skolnik-Berkovich with distinction. Lenny Sharp. Brent Morley Smith. Olivier Sue with distinction. Eugénie Toutain. Emily Usher with distinction. Camille Zoe Valcourt-Sinot with distinction. Lucia Verhel with great distinction, winner of the Yves Gaucher Prize in Studio Arts, awarded to an outstanding graduating student in Studio Arts. Emma Wallace with distinction. Chanel Willard with distinction. Samantha Wojciowicz. Florence Yee, with great distinction, winner of the Alfred Pinsky Medal, awarded to the highest ranking student graduating with the degree of Bachelor of Baccalaureate in Fine Arts, winner of the Guido Molinaro Prize in Studio Arts, awarded to an outstanding graduating student in Studio Arts. Lucas Amato with distinction. Emmanuel Antonio with distinction. Marlon Campellone. Emma Corber with distinction. Isabella Donati Simmons with distinction. Ryan Downey. Julian Duarte. Sarah Flicht with distinction. Jenna Kaplan with distinction. Marine Laurencel with distinction. Amanda Lee. Cecilia Marie MacDonald. Adrian Alton Marquis Manicom with distinction. Ariana Markle. Mariko Maia Martin with distinction. Lunine Marlene Norbal. Karen Oatley. Scott Phillips. Leah Robertson with distinction. Charlotte Roche. Patrick Ryan with distinction. Madeline Smart. Kate Stockberger with distinction. Sophie Therese Stone Richards with distinction. Heather Allen Strain with distinction. Johan Strongbugson Denora with distinction. Layla Sutherland with distinction. Aurora Torok with distinction. Alison Varela Herring with distinction. Amy White.
I would like to ask the Provost to confer the Convocation.
Would all the graduates please stand? In the back there. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of Senate, I present to you the candidates for degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the Faculty of Fine Arts. I certify that these candidates have fulfilled the requirements for their degrees.
By the powers granted in the University Charter, I admit each of you to the appropriate degree as approved by Senate and certified by the Deputy Provost. Please be seated.
The Concordia University Distinguished Doctoral Dissertation Prize in Fine Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences is awarded annually, when merited, to the most deserving graduate for the excellence of her doctoral thesis in the Fine Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences programs. Dr. Adam Szymanski defended his PhD dissertation entitled Minor Cinemas of Melancholy and Therapy in August 2017 under the supervision of Dr. Erin Manning in the Mel Oppenheim School of Cinema. His body of work carefully attended the interval between the cinematic, the free indirect, and the neurodiversity. Dr. Szymanski is currently a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Art History and Communication Studies at McGill University. Dr. Szymanski, please join me. Congratulations.
I would now like to ask Sophie Therese Stone Richards to give the valedictory address.
Chancellor Wiener, President and Vice Chancellor Shepard, Dr. Schumann, distinguished guests and participants, fellow students, families and friends, I am pleased to address you today on behalf of the graduating class of Concordia University Faculty of Fine Arts of 2018. Congratulations and well done to you, the students, the literal centerpiece and raison d'être of this event. Vous l'avez bien mérité et vos efforts ne viennent que de commencer à démontrer leurs habiletés et leur futur potentiel. Bravo! Moi-même, j'ai pris du temps pour arriver ici parmi vous. I had to be very patient to get to where I am today. Turns out, getting a math degree and starting over to study theater is not the most common practice. So there weren't really any models to base myself on when I got lost or stuck. J'ai travaillé et j'ai beaucoup appris et je suis contente que je me suis permis de recommencer. I am thankful for all the inspiring peers I had of many ages, many experiences, and many backgrounds. They did this with me, and they helped me through it. And the teachers, je remercie les profs qui m'ont rassurée quand je me sentais anxieuse, mais qui néanmoins ne cessaient jamais de me pousser et de m'inspirer à me défier. Je priorise avant tout ce qui m'est disponible le temps qui m'est disponible pour faire ce que je veux, ce qui m'intéresse et ce qui est important pour moi. Et j'adorais les maths. But the stuff math is used for in the business world didn't interest me, so I moved on. One time, I told someone that I had a math degree and their reaction was, why? Why would you go into the arts if you were good at something useful? J'ai dû tenir ma langue. Utile. Quel gros mot. Useful? Useful for who? Pour lui ou pour moi? Who decides what is useful? I knew I wanted to act and write stories that people could share and admittedly act out. Storytelling influences and even changes minds sometimes. When we learn and talk about history, if it's not wars and oppression, it's inventions, discoveries, and social advancements. To say the least one can about history without going into detail about it being a controlled narrative. Human progress takes time that is beyond just survival. And to me, art is a bridge between survival and progress. Art creates potential. Art confronts us immediately with our relationship to time and is a constant reminder of what else we might appreciate doing. Art can create empathy and understanding where before there was none. And in a world that to me feels so vast, that is how I choose to connect to people and experiences that are not my own. This is the Faculty of Fine Arts. And here we all are, historians, therapists, performers, studio artists, cineasts, designers, and educators, having graduated and having taken different paths to end up together today. I wonder about all the sleepless nights it took, all the multiple compounded deadlines survived, the extensions requested or simply taken, the purposefully calculated missed assignments and absences that bought more time elsewhere, the dropped classes, the part-time jobs or the full-time jobs, studying full-time or part-time when necessary, the failing and having to pick yourself up right back up again, balancing missing out versus challenging ourselves versus overworking ourselves to the point of non-productivity. And the biggest variable of them all, living. Life is a tricky thing to work around. Take the time later to thank the people who helped you through all that. Cherish them and be there for them. There is more to come. Because this event is not the goal. All our energy and efforts have to go elsewhere now. Le temps et l'espace qui nous ont été accordés sont un privilège que nous cherchions et maintenant vient la question, comment si nécessaire et si désiré en trouver plus? What do we want to sustain now that we're graduating, and how will we sustain it? We are each discovering a very personal meaning to the term sustainability and starting to envision what that might mean for a career and its milestones. 1 year, 5 years, 20 years. And ours will not be a predictable one. And minds will change and lives and ambitions will have to adapt to specific and immediate needs. How do we define what is useful? It is ours to define, and it should be ours to define. None of us is one thing, and we are each and all contributing when we can and how we can to human consciousness. I am honored to stand here before you and hope you will continue to discover and expand what is useful to you, what makes sense to you, and lest we forget it, what excites you. Je suis debout ici devant vous et je suis reconnaissante. Je vous souhaite tous une très belle continuation, inspirante et aussi utile que vous le déterminerez. Merci, thank you, and congratulations once again to the class of 2018. Félicitations à vous, bravo.
Thank you, Sophie, for your wonderful remarks, your energy, and your inspiration. We wish you the very best. This is the point in the evening where I get to make a few closing remarks before I ask our provost to provide final closure. I want to wish you, one and all, a great success in your future, that you grow from strength to strength, and may the force be with you.
Mesdames, Messieurs, merci d'être venus en si grand nombre ce soir, de partager avec nous la joie de nos diplômés. Thank you all for being here to celebrate the terrific graduating class of 2018. And the ceremony is almost over. I would like to ask all of the graduates to stand for a moment, turn around, and thank the family, friends, the staff, and faculty on the stage for all their help on the journey here. So graduates, if I can just leave you with one final message, part of it is something I think you already know, and that is that Concordia is a great university, and would anybody disagree with me if I said our Faculty of Fine Arts was the best in the country? All right. And today there's no better measure of the success of the university or the success of the faculty than all of your accomplishments, but at the same time, there is no better indicator of the promise for the future than what you may accomplish in the years ahead. We'll always be your university, but as alumni of Concordia, you will always be our best ambassadors. So I want to close by thanking you for having chosen Concordia as a pathway to your future. You've honored us with that choice, and now we'd like to reciprocate by honoring you with a reception in the lobby outside. Merci, félicitations, au revoir et à bientôt.